Hello friends. Yesterday we were talking about characteristics of companies. We have already covered the first characteristic, that is corporate personality, along with the case laws which are related with the corporate personality. Now today we are going to discuss about the second characteristics of company, that is limited liability. Limited liability means, suppose if a company is limited by shares, the liability of shareholders of a company is limited up to the value of shares held by them. It means, suppose if a person has purchased share of a company having face value of rupees 10, his liability will be limited to only and only rupees 10 and not more than that. In case companies are limited by guarantee, in that case, the liability of a member is limited up to the amount guaranteed by them. There are certain companies which are limited by guarantee, wherein cash is not given, but the guarantee is given by the renowned persons. So, in that case, the amount of guaranteed accepted by the person, the liability of the person will be limited only up to the guarantee of that particular amount only. Suppose in case companies are with unlimited liability of members, in that case the members have to contribute till all the debts have been paid by the company. It means, suppose if a person is purchasing a share from the company which is having unlimited liability, in that case the personal property of the person can be useful or can be used for the purpose of paying all the debts of that company. It means in the Company Act 2013, the limited liability characteristics of company is very important because the liability of the member will be limited only up to the face value of shares held by that person or the guarantee undertaken by the person only. So this is nothing but this is called as an limited liability. Next characteristics is perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means once company is registered as per the provisions of the Companies Act, it continues to exist till it is finally wound up. As per the provisions of the Act, the membership of a company may keep changing from time to time, but it does not affect the existence of a company. For example, perpetual succession means company may continue to work unlimited times. It means that the death, dissolution, bankruptcy of any of the managing director, partner, or any employee, it does not affect the continuation of the company. It means that company can run longer and longer time without having any sort of relation with its members. It means no any member can stop successing the company in any of the circumstances. According to Professor Grover, the death or insolvency of individual member does not in any way affect the corporate existence of a company. Members may come and go, but the company can go on forever. Let me give an example. After the death of a member, the shares are transmitted to their legal representatives who will then assume membership of the company. It means that suppose if any shareholder of a company died, then his members will be transferred to his legal representative and he will be continued as a member. It means that even though all the members are died, still company may continue its succession. Next is separate property. It means that in case of sole trader or partnership, their business, in case of company, the members are scattered over the various geographical places and cannot actively participate in their day-to-day affairs of the company, so that they elect their representatives and they are called as an board of directors who are responsible for the day-to-day affairs of the company. So they elect their representatives who are called as an board of directors. Here, separate property means the company is a separate legal entity having its own corporate name. It can hold property in its own name. No member can claim himself to be the owner of the company's property during its existence. In simple words, the property of company is not the property of individual member. This is the important characteristics of company which says separate property. Once company is registered, all the properties will be purchased and sold in the name of company and not in the name of individual proprietor or any other member of the company. Next is transferability of shares. Transferability of shares means the capital of the company is divided into various parts and each part is called as an share. Shares in a company are considered as movable property. Hence, such shares can be easily transferred by a member to any other person like any other sellable commodity. In fact, this facility of transferability of shares was one of the objectives behind emergence of the idea of joint stock company in 19th century in England. Due to this facility, large undertakings could emerge around the world. Share transfer transactions takes place according to the Articles of Association of the company, section 44. But in case of private company, the right to transfer the share is restricted as per the section 58, 59 and 60. In short, the shareholders of public limited company as per section 44 they can easily transfer their shares to any other person like a sellable commodity, but in case of private company as per section 58, 59 and section 60 the private company's shares are not freely and easily transferable without taking the prior permission of company. Next characteristics is capacity to sue and to be sued. It means that a company is a separate legal entity, that is artificial person having its own corporate name and personality. Therefore, according to section 9, company may sue or may be sued in its own name and not in the name of its director or member. It means once company get incorporated, company may file suit or file case against any of the company or any other person, or any other person can file case against not in the name of director but in the name of company. Next characteristics is contractual rights. Contractual rights are, as you know, company is an artificial person created by law. Therefore, like natural person, company can enter into contracts in its own name through its agents called as an directors or other authorized person. It means for entering into the contract with any other party, the agents of the company called as an directors, they are playing an important role, but contract can be made in the name of company only. Next characteristics is demutualization, which means separation of management and ownership. Once company is registered, then under company form of business, management, that is director, is different from owner, that is members. Members of the company do not get engaged into the day-to-day business of the company. Members appoint directors who direct the business of the company on their behalf. Such directors may not be members of the company. It means that Once company is registered, there are two parties. One is members of the company, those who are called owners, and second is management of the company. They are the agents, but they may or may not be the members of the company. Next characteristics is common seal. When company get incorporated or registered, a company may have a common seal. Since company has no physical existence, therefore it has to act through its agent only. To put the restriction on the misuse of powers of those agents called as directors, contracts entered into by anyone on behalf of company may be under common seal of company. Thus, common seal act as an official signature of the company. After the Companies Act 2015 amendment, it is not compulsory for company to have common seal. Thus, company may or may not be having common seal as per the latest amendment. Actually, in 2013, when the Company Act came into picture, whenever company wants to enter into contract with any other person, then agents of the company, that is director, they must have to use the common seal of the company, and then this document will be called as an authorized document. But in 2015, there was an amendment regarding common seal. Now company may or may not use the common seal, but still they can enter into the contract by having the two directors' signature on the contract document. Thank you. Thank you.